Thank you very much. If you're just joining us, this is the Big Issue. Thank you very much. Today we are not whispering, we are not tiptoeing, we are opening the vault and asking the question many fear to touch. I'm Otabor, and of course we are going straight up to tell you exactly what we're here to do. Nigeria is rich, yet Nigerians are poor. Our soil drips with oil, our ground glitters with gas, gold, limestone, and fertile land, but somehow unity remains fragile. Development feels selective and anger keeps boiling beneath the surface. So today we confront a sensitive but unavoidable question. Is the fight over who owns what tearing us apart? Or is resource control just a convenient scapegoat for deeper failures? Today, we don't assume, we interrogate, we debate. This is the Big Issue. Welcome back, Nigeria. You're still watching the nation's conscience in conversation, the Big Issue. Thank you very much. Thank you. Today, two powerful voices, two opposing views, one Nigeria. First, a political analyst and social commentator who believes Nigeria's greatest wounds now stems from the fact that its resources are owned, controlled, and shared. He argues that until Nigerians control what comes from their land, unity will remain a myth. Please welcome Prince Francis Chilaka to the stage. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And on the other side, an oil and gas consultant and public affairs analyst who insists Nigeria's problem is not resource control but leadership failure, weak institutions, and a culture of mismanagement. Please welcome Chuks Emeka to the stand. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now let's take this break, and when we return, the conversation begins right here on the Big Welcome back if you're just joining us. This is the Big. Thank you. All right, we begin this conversation. Prince, you say resource control is at the heart of the crisis in Nigeria. How do you start?
Okay, let me start by saying that one, we keep lying to ourselves. We've never been sincere to ourselves in this country, and because of that, we've got a lot of people agitating to say, "Oh, we want to pull out of Nigeria. We want to pull out of Nigeria." They don't want to pull out of Nigeria because they do not believe in Nigeria, but they want to pull out of Nigeria because they are not getting a fair share of what comes from underneath the land. I mean, if you have gold in your environment, you should benefit. Today, we don't have light, we don't have electricity, bad educational system, bad roads, nothing is working because people are not benefiting from what comes from the land.
All right. All right, Chuks Emeka, you are taking the stand that this is not about resource control, it's about leadership. How do you start?
Let me emphasize this. Nigeria's challenge is not actually resource control. Nigeria's challenge at the moment is accountability and a culture of people not having integrity, a culture of people not having competence to be able to do the job. That's the challenge we have now. If these things are dealt with, there will be balance in equitable distribution of wealth for every Nigerian.
Prince, I know this is going to be a very feisty conversation, yeah? You are actually saying, look, it's about the fact that people are not getting what they deserve. And that's why, a fair share. Yeah. But he is saying, look, it's about leadership. If there is accountability and there is competent leadership, distribution will not be a problem. How do you tackle that?
I'll tell you this. The Northern governors just had a small meeting, and at the end of the meeting, they came up with one obnoxious language, that they're stopping mining for 6 months. They're suspending mining for 6 months. And the question is, are you guys mining? What are you guys mining? If you're mining and Nigerians are not aware that you're mining, then it means that you are stealing from the people. The problem we've had is that our leaders, when people say it's leadership. You know why I laugh? I laugh because if the salary of a governor is 10,000 a month, nobody will steal. But because they are benefiting from what we are not aware of, that is why they're able to steal.
How do you respond to that?
At the moment, Nigeria is actually running what we call, that resource control is talking about is already on. We have the NDDC, we have institutions that have been set up to be able to help this Niger Delta or these locations where we have these natural resources. But the challenge we are having is that even when these wealth are moved into those locations, the elite group in those locations are actually the ones who are taking up this wealth. Now, as of today, the 3 ex-governors of a particular state, in totality of the wealth that is being embezzled is about 2.8 trillion naira as of today, based on facts and investigation. Now, that 2.8 trillion naira is enough to build 17 schools, rehabilitate 68 dilapidated schools in those locations, build bridges. So the challenge we are having is not about giving anybody or any region or any state resource control. It's about, first of all, accountability. First of all, integrity and putting the right people in the right place. That is the challenge we are having at the
moment. But you agree that a system that disconnects ownership from benefit breeds resentment and chaos. So then, at the end of the day, what is the function of leadership when people cannot get what they feel they deserve? And that's why we have agitations these days.
Yes, I agree with you. That is why we need to have what we call consistent policies. Our policies are not consistent. And as I'm talking to you, we don't have pragmatic leaders. All we have is leaders who are selfish. Everything is about themselves. So, and we don't have these things that is being done in the Western world, where anybody that commits corruption is dealt with. Now in Nigeria, when you embezzle money, the next thing we are looking at is becoming a governor or becoming the next minister. But in other climes, when you embezzle money, you face penalties immediately. So in some cases, some instances, you face execution. Now, when this corporate governance is not there, these principles are not put in place, anything can happen. Let me give an instance. If you move wealth to those territory, I can give you within 3-4 months, the elites will become more richer. Why? The low class will become more poorer.
But is that not the function of the bad leadership?
That is why I'm saying we need to deal with that first. But if we don't deal with leadership, if we don't deal with the issue that restrains leadership from embezzlement, we can't move away from here.
Okay.
That's the challenge we have at the moment.
All right. Thank you very much. Prince, I saw you giggling. Now, I totally understand where you stand at this point, but he has actually highlighted the fact that, look, he's not running away from the challenge that leadership also has or needs some kind of amendment. But he's also saying, look, if we can actually get it right leadership-wise, maybe your resource control argument will be expressed.
No, it's not about leadership. It's about people controlling what comes from under the earth. If, for instance, like I keep saying, if, for instance, there is gold here, and we say that for every ounce of gold that is removed, everybody here is entitled to 50,000 naira. You will throw away poverty. Because automatically, the people are benefiting as you're mining. But in Nigeria today, in our country today, you mine, and when the people agitate, you send people to kill them. You arrest them, you send them to prison. So the point is, you must be able to say, look, I keep telling people, resource control is not the problem. The absence of it is the problem.
Okay. Now, Prince, let's face it, Prince. Nigeria has oil, gas, arable land, human capital, yet we still struggle. Resources don't develop nations, but leadership does. So no matter the resources you have, if you don't have competent leadership to stand in the gap to do what needs to be done, the problem will continue to persist. Just the way you highlighted the fact that the Northerners are coming together now to say, look, let's stop mining. And you are actually pointing out the fact that, meaning this has been going on and Nigerians are not aware of it. So if there is a function of leadership at that quarter, would there even be a function of coming together to come and say...
How much are we buying petrol today? Nigeria is an oil-producing nation, and we're buying petrol for almost 1,000 naira. Do you know what would happen if all the oil companies, I'm not talking about government now, let us say all the oil companies, where they are based, that they are allowing the people to benefit from what they are bringing out of the ground? Do you think there will be poverty in Nigeria? Do you think that the Niger Delta youth will be agitating? Nobody will agitate because they will benefit. The point is, we keep saying leadership. Who are these leaders? Do the leaders come from the moon? The leaders are you and I. The point is, we must have a policy that says, if I'm going to take this from this place, you, as the owner of that land, must benefit. And when you do that, I am telling you, nobody will come out and say, we want to break up Nigeria. People will be talking about unity.
Thank you. Now, Chuks, you agree that no matter what happens, even good leaders struggle in a terrible structure at the end of the day. How do you argue and how do you contend with this argument?
Let me emphasize this. I've worked with some government officials and I find out how they operate.
All right.
The problem we are having right now, is institutional failure.
All right.
We have poor institutions. I still insist, until these institutions are fixed, there will be no need for agitation. There will be no need for anybody crying. We have poor institutions. We have nations who have oil just like we have. We have countries, lesser, smaller resources. They don't even have, there are even countries like Singapore that don't even have any single resource at the moment. But they are actually managing the little they generate from the maritime. Now, the problem we have, like I said earlier, is institutional failure. The government, the system needs to be balanced. There needs to be a balanced system. Until that is done, nothing is possible. Anybody can agitate. In fact, let me even tell you with all honesty, most of the agitations you see is even controlled, is even induced agitation, because the elites want to benefit more. They want to get more. They want to be able to take their children abroad. They want to be able to pay for higher institutions outside the country. But you and I, here in this country, can't pay for that, can't do that, because because the institutional failures are, the institution is not balanced. There is nowhere in this country where I can just go to anywhere now at the moment as I speak to you and access loan without them asking me to bring my grandmother's certificate. But in other climes, you just walk up just with your idea, that you have an idea alone can generate funding for you. That's what we're talking about.
Prince, as much as I understand where you stand in all of this, you can't take out the fact that he is actually pointing out the fact that if leadership comes to stay, there will not be a need for us to agitate and go further. But let's also look at this analogy here. He also talked about policies. Now, policy inconsistency, short-term thinking can also bring about the fact that whatever resource control that is even present will not even be, will not be positive at the end of the day. I mean,
no, I totally disagree. If I have to take control of my environment, for instance, if I take control of my environment, I will determine who takes what and who enjoys what. But when people do not have that opportunity to determine that, then that is where the bourgeois come in. So for me, if I have columbite here, and I wake up from sleep and I'm looking at my columbite, I may be hungry, but I'm looking at my columbite and I'm saying to myself, if you are coming to benefit from this columbite, you must give me electricity, you must give me good road, you must give me that. And you agree to it. It has nothing with leadership. It has with my ability to say, this is what I want, and that is where I stand.
Okay. Now, if you are saying it's not about function of leadership, you are saying resource control is a problem. What is the likelihood that the elites will not hijack those resources at the expense of the less privileged or those who don't have an idea? Because at the end of the day, if resources get into the hands of those who are in charge, who are interested in fattening their bank accounts, of course, it will not even trickle down to the
I'll take you on a journey. Go to South Africa. Go to Australia. These are two countries. Australia is a mining country. They have no oil, but they're into mining. In Australia, go and make your inquiries. You cannot go and take up mineral without settling the community. The community determines their level of settlement that they want before even the government can assess it. The same thing happened in South Africa. So why must Nigeria be different? Because when you say leadership, the problem you have with leadership is that in Nigeria, leadership means I giving up my sovereignty to government. And in doing that, I expect that government must give me something in return. But when I'm not getting something in return, why would I surrender my sovereignty?
Chuks, I'm actually loving this. Now, he said, look, when I have resources here, the people should determine what comes to them before the government can even come and say, this is what we want to give to you. That way, the people are able to control their resources because they know that you are taking anything from my land. I need to get benefits in return. Let's look at how Niger Delta came into play and the Niger Delta militants. They said, you come to take oil from our land, our waters are polluted. The fishery that we normally do to earn income, destroyed. No schools, no hospitals. Why are you taking our resources and you're not giving us anything in return? Isn't that always going to be a chaotic situation that we stand to face?
Now, let me tell you something. Saudi Aramco has oil.
Please tell me.
Saudi has oil.
All right.
And Saudi Aramco is the oil managing company of Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Aramco is run professionally, excellently. In fact, as of today, their revenue is 12 times bigger than what NNPC has ever done in the past 10 years. Now, let me emphasize the reason why. The reason why it is that is because they have a proper accountability structure. And it is run professionally. Now, he's talking, my counterpart is talking about community managing your resources. If you go to Niger State today, go to Delta State today to go and do any project, that is, you bring your own resources, you bring your own money to do a project in Delta State. The community will restrain you from doing that project. I have seen it happen. They will restrain you because they want you to pay them first. before you bring a project that will assist them in that community. They want Estaco to be paid. They want to be paid backhand services. The truth there we have in Nigeria at the moment is that those who want to steal money are more than those who are already stealing. That's the challenge we are having at the moment. Everybody wants to latch on the resources. They want to take it as their own personal. They want to take it for themselves personally, but they have forgotten that it's a contributive measure. Everybody in this nation is bringing one or two to make sure that we move forward as a nation. If this is not done, there will be lopsided development in different areas that will cause poverty for others.
All right.
So that's the reason why the federal government is mandated with that capacity to distribute wealth equitably to everybody. That is why I said earlier that even the wealth given to those locations where they are agitating for resource control, they are not managing it well.
All right. Thank you very much. Put your hands together once again. Well, in all of this argument, you can't help but actually pull up a quote from Barack Obama when he said, Africa do not need strong leaders, but Africa needs strong institutions. In that same breath, Barack Obama invaded Libya with strong institutions, plundered the country, and right now, Libya is in ruins. I know you're one in politics, right? Please, let's not be distracted at this point in time, because right now, what we are faced here is very simple. Is Nigeria's problem that of resource control or leadership? We'll go on a quick break, and when we return, it's of course the big issue right here on your television. Stay tuned. This is still the big... Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the big. All right. Right now, this is the Crossfire segment, and of course, ideas will be colliding right here, and we'll be having both of them tinker with your thoughts back and forth. Prince, you are still holding on to the fact that resource control is the problem. How do you begin this feisty segment?
All right, resource control for me is not about greed. It's about justice, it's about fairness, it's about ownership, it's about dignity, it's about recognition of those who own the land. And now when you do that, you see, when you do that, you find out that people would not fight themselves. Take instance what's happening in the core north, where you have headsmen, bandits, call them whatever name you want to call them. Why are they driving the owners of the lands into IDP camps? It's because of the minerals there they want to take by force. But if it is such that I own this mineral and that there's an understanding as to you take, I take, there will be no need for anybody to agitate.
I totally disagree.
Okay.
I totally disagree with that.
Please.
Leadership is the foundation for every better society. When there is no leadership, in fact, it is even written in the Holy Scriptures that when the foundations are destroyed, what will the righteous do? So, leadership is the foundation. Outside leadership, there is nothing. You can't build on something where there is nothing. You can't build on anything. You can't give people.
If you say you can't build
wealth.
on something where there is nothing,
give people wealth.
Hold on, sir. If you say you can't build on something where there is nothing, why are people killing other people to take over their lands?
It is greed. The actual solution for your question is greed. Greed is the driving force.
It is not greed.
Greed is
it
driving.
Is because
now
let me tell you. It is because you and I have failed to recognize the fact that whatever is there belongs to somebody, and that person must decide and dictate who takes it.
Now let me also emphasize. Let me emphasize this. Okay. If you say this community A has this, and this community A is given the resource to manage, few years after that thing dries up, community B has its own resource, and they are giving the resource to manage. Now community B is saying that I won't give community A any resource. I won't give them from this.
I totally disagree.
What do you think is going to happen?
Community A,
now what we are saying is for balance reason. Even in your own family, when your own son starts getting money from the job he works for, he brings it for everybody to share. Is that not so?
No, the point you are missing is when it comes to resource control,
we
must have economies of scale.
Nigeria is a family.
No, we must have
because we are a family. No. Every wealth that is generated any part of this country is distributed equitably. So that tomorrow,
I totally disagree.
If this particular community doesn't have, let me say this. If tomorrow the oil dries up and Zamfara is the one producing gold, we are going to use the Zamfara gold as our wealth creation for the whole nation.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a good point.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Okay.
All this while, you've been taking oil from the Niger Delta, for instance. How many roads do you have in Niger Delta? How many schools do you have in Niger Delta?
Now the schools.
Because I'm coming.
Let him land. Let him land. Hold on. Let him land. Let him land.
You said when a son begins to earn money, he brings it to the complete tilt. If the son is greedy, how does he bring it?
Now listen.
Let me come in. If a father says that I have 10 children,
right,
and you say out of these 10 children, the first son must bring 5% or 10% of what he earns, it helps everybody to stabilize. Yes. That is what I mean about resource control. I own it. I must be able to decide what I get out of it, and not a situation where you have a government that decides what I need. I need light. Government is saying I need water. How do I marry them?
Wait, let me explain to you.
Okay.
As of today, while we are speaking now, there is 13% derivation being given to these states.
Who's benefiting from it?
Let me explain now. I need to get to that point. There is 13% derivation given to these Nigeria Delta development areas. And this funding are being misused by the agencies being given this funding to. There is total misuse of the money. We have seen people being arrested. We have seen MDs of these institutions being arrested and locked behind bars because of greed. The foundation is rotten. That is where we are. We have a rotten foundation. We have a rotten system. There is no corporate governance structure. Everybody does anyhow.
Okay,
Most of these guys.
Maybe what we should do is to go back in the Americans.
You need to get this point.
Let us hold on.
You need to get this point.
Maybe what we should do is go back to America. When in Texas, people control their resources. They had, I'm coming. They had their guns.
You need to get what I'm saying.
And
you
they
don't understand it.
You cannot take anything from
it is not about the community.
Okay.
It is not about the community. Let me even tell you with all honesty. There are communities that are managing small resources and they are managing small resources quietly, yet they are not developing. Because in that same system, that small community, there are greedy men there who don't want anyone outside them to manage those resources.
To benefit. All right, I agree. Greed is a normal thing about humanity.
Yeah.
But when the humans understand what they own, they know that if I have yam and you have stew, I need your stew to eat my yam. Before now, in Nigeria, we didn't know what naira and kobo was. We were doing trade by barter. You have yam, you have stew, you bring, and people share. The thing is this: if the people that own the land are able to dictate what happens to that land,
there is no way you can dictate what happens to that
land. Let me come in here. Hold on. Let me come in here. Prince, in some communities, some would tell you that some are superior to the others because they are called minorities. In those kind of localities, if there is resources in those places, the people who claim that they are the major stakeholders in that community would always want to argue that they should get more. We've seen in most countries where they call some people outcasts. Now, in those kind of communities, even if there is resources embedded in those places, how can the outcasts who are supposed indigens, how would they benefit?
Okay, let me tell you. Go to the southeast. I am from the southeast. Go to the southeast, and there's a community where you say they are outcasts. Nobody enters that community. No matter the minerals there, no son of the soil that is not an outcast will enter that place. They help to protect them because they call them outcasts. They protect what they have. If you go to the whole southeast, you'll find out that most communities that are well developed are those you call outcasts.
Let me counter what you just said.
Okay.
In the Niger Delta area, the major institution that is managing pipeline management is from that axis. Is that not true?
Go ahead.
They are the ones. 80% of the support companies supporting the oil and gas companies, they are from that axis. The major employment services, up to 80% is from that axis. Now, what else do you want? What do you want again? You want to be drinking the oil. Even the oil we're talking about is also being financed from outside. You are not the one that's going to bring in the oil and gas company that is going to do it. Now, what we are saying, that in every structure, this country, Nigeria is a corporate entity, is a federation. Now, because it is a federation, everybody who has whatever he has brings it to the table. And each person is distributed back that same wealth so that everybody is happy. So that people can go to school in the north, they can go to school in the south, they can go to school in the west. That's the reason why we are doing this. We're not saying that.
Let him land.
Now, let me even tell you, before the coming of oil, we were relying on granite. We were relying on cashew. We were relying on these things. Now, let me tell you, if those guys in the north said they won't give you anything, what will you be today?
Good.
That's what we are saying.
No, I totally agree with you.
Let it be balanced. Let there be balance everywhere.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. We should all bring everything to the tilt so that we can all share it. How much mining in the north have they brought to the national pocket? How many?
Do you know?
See, I can tell you, Nigeria as of today has 33 mineral occurrences of the highest value in the world. We have gold running all the way from Sokoto down to Niger, down to Kwara. Do you know why bandits are chasing people away from their ancestral homes? They're not chasing them because they want to feed their cows. No, they're chasing them because of the minerals there. And they want to take over.
Who are you going to blame for that? You're going to blame leadership. Because until there's a proper leadership.
If there was an original agreement that the people control what they own and give a quantity of it to the central, nobody would dare it.
There is an agreement. There is an agreement.
There is no
Okay.
agreement.
Every mineral resources there is still this. Listen,
But
I know
You
that
said there's an agreement?
yes, there is an agreement.
Do you have a copy of the
Listen,
agreement?
The Ministry of Mineral
Which
Resources
ministry?
has a structure.
I work as a consultant for the ministry, and I'm telling you that we have 33 mineral occurrences.
It's not
And out
it's
of
not
those
an issue of
33
sentiment. The
Okay.
Ministry
out of those
of
33
Solid
mineral
Minerals
occurrences,
has a structure to
20
manage
something
this
of them are in the
mineral
north.
Yeah, we have a backdrop. There is a backdrop of people who go behind the scene to go and do whatever they do. Just like they were doing. Let me tell you today. Do you know as of today, over 30% of the oil that is being generated from Niger Delta is also being stolen.
Do you know why
Now-
the oil is
now
being
it's
stolen?
being stolen.
It is
Now,
because
let
the
me- now,
people
wait
have no
now,
right
the people
over
that
it to
stolen,
protect
the
it.
people that are stealing this thing are also from that axis.
No, I totally disagree with you. A man who will steal oil must have the vessel to carry the oil.
Now let me
How do you
tell you.
expect a poor man
Let me
without a
tell you.
vessel to
Let me
steal
tell
the oil?
you. The vessels that come in. The vessels that come into this country. The vessels that come into this country
Right.
to come and steal crude oil every day. They are conniving with 3 entities. They are conniving with the international partners. They are conniving with the community leaders. The community leaders are the key elements that makes this thing happen. That is why we are having this bunkering every day. That's why we are having our crude oil being frittered away. See, without their partnership, it will not work. It won't work.
No,
That's the reason why I'm saying that what we have.
If you talk about the stealing of Nigerian oil,
we have
and you call,
leadership failure.
If you talk about the stealing of Nigerian oil and you call the community, my brother, you are not being sincere to the community. And I'll tell you why you're not being sincere. What we have today as resources is controlled by who? It's not controlled by the people.
Yes.
It's controlled by the government.
Yes.
The ordinary people have no say.
Who said they don't have say?
They have no say.
Who told you they don't have say?
If your state, where you are from today, your state that you're from today, if oil is discovered there today, you cannot stop government from entering there.
Let me even tell you,
But if you have a right to say, I am the owner of this place, that's what I said to you. Go back to Texas. When they discovered a lot of minerals in Texas, what did Texas guys do? They all came out with guns, and they stopped anybody accessing the land. There was a time buildings were being demolished.
That's not true. In Texas.
There was a time.
Let him land.
There was a time people's lands were being demolished because of the minerals there. But when the people came together as a bloc to say, we own this land, we own what is in it, we will dictate what happens to it, it stopped. If today Nigeria as Nigeria is today, if you give power to the people to control their mineral resources, I am telling you, nobody will agitate.
What do you mean by the people?
There will be no poverty.
I want to understand what you mean by the
hunger.
people. When you say the people are who?
Okay.
Who are you talking about? Are you talking about the governor of the state?
He's talking about the people.
Now, is the
I'm talking
governor
about
of
the
the state not the people?
No, I'm talking about the people.
Wait, the commissioners
government
in that state
does
are
not
not
own
the people?
The people own the land. That is
Listen,
why we call it ancestral home.
You are throwing words around.
No,
I am trying to
that is why we call it
understand
ancestral
what you
home.
mean by the people. When you say a people in Bayelsa State has this oil, is in Bayelsa State. Now that thing is either in Baramatu or anywhere.
But you can't argue the fact that
I need to puncture what you're saying. When you say the people include both the governor, include the commissioner, include the local government chairman, include everybody in that state. Now, if they are not managing it well, now are you going to be blaming the federal government when they give them 13% of the total sum of that particular drilling? They give them in that oil field. They give you 13%. Do you know the meaning of 13%?
13%.
13%
In the north, for instance,
I'll give
another one. In the north today, they say they don't drink beer because of Sharia, but they benefit out of VAT. And we're not talking anything about it. They benefit out of VAT. You forget that VAT on its own, if the people take ownership of it, nobody from the north will take money out of them.
I don't understand. But you still insist on the people. I want to know what you mean by the
No,
people.
he is established.
Are you talking about a few number of people?
Sovereignty,
maybe like 10, 20 people?
belongs to the people.
Sovereignty belongs to the people. We agree. But under a failed structure,
Leadership structure.
and leadership, sovereignty is nothing.
No.
I can tell you with all honesty.
No. I totally disagree with you.
Sovereignty is nothing when the leadership is not well structured.
Like you said, before colonization came, we survived on agriculture. We survived on rice.
Who told you we survived before colonization?
I'm coming. You said
it's an
it.
assumption. You're not assuming.
But now, let me tell you also. No, let me also tell you.
Were you there before colonization?
Let me also tell you.
You are not there.
Let me tell you. When you have where you in a community where you have umunna, you and I know what umunna means. In Igbo land, it means those in charge of the village. If the villagers come out together today and says, this thing cannot move, nobody will move it. Because the people have spoken.
Do you know that some senators, as I speak to you, some senators who are even giving senatorial allowances to pay for their own constituency are eating the money. But the money is given to them to give to their own to their constituencies. Look, they know it. They go and buy houses in Texas and in Miami. You're telling me community. Which community? You're talking about a senator that is entrusted to give amenities to his own constituency, takes the money to go and buy a house.
His own people, no.
His own people. They give him money for constituency. He takes the money, buy a house in Atlanta.
Now,
and you're telling me that you want results of control to be given to who?
The aberration is that, one, in an ideal society, no senator should be giving money for constituency allowance. No senator should be giving money.
Okay.
Because I'm going to help you out.
Now, who do you give the money to?
Hold on.
Who are you going to give the money to?
Let him land. What's your reason?
You say you have a governor, Abi? The duty of development should not lie in the government, not lie in the governor, should lie in the local government. Because the local government is closer to the people. That is the people.
It's a three structure of government.
All right. It's been very feisty right here. Please put your hands together for these two contestants. Okay. Powerful arguments, but this conversation does not belong to elites alone. When we return, the people will speak. We have questions from the audience. Stay tuned. This is still the big. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the big. Well, of course, for those of you just joining us, we are still asking the question, is Nigeria's problem that of resource control or leadership accountability? But right now, we have questions from our audience, and let's kickstart this beautiful moment from our friend right here.
All right, my name is Adigoke Oludolapo, and I'm a student of UNILAG in the Mass Communication Department. So my question is for you, Mr. Chuks. You say that sovereignty does not belong to the people, but according to Abraham Lincoln, he defined democracy as the system of the people, by the people, and for the people. So what then is the use, if you say the sovereignty does not belong with the people, what then is the use of the leaders if we don't have people who they are accountable to?
Well, he said you argued that sovereignty does not entirely belong to the people, but revolves around the leadership controlling the resources in those areas. But he's saying what happens when the leadership are not accountable to the people?
Now, when we say leadership, we're not talking about something flying in the air. We're talking about, first of all, it has to start from the Constitution. It has to also start from structures. And when we say leadership, you will see in Senate claims where a president, by the virtue of the fact that he was accused, not alleged, just alleged, that he was involved in scandal, resigns immediately. That is what we are talking about. We need to get to that level where a senator or a minister or a governor anywhere is accused of something. Now, because of the scandal that is behind it, he resigns. Not that he perpetuates himself, follow through the investigation, comes out, now goes to spend the money. That is where the challenge is. We don't have proper legislative laws that can put anybody behind bars in this particular era where we are, most governors get away with most of this one. Some of them go for plea bargain. Some go behind the scene, go and negotiate and get away with this.
Right.
That's the challenge we're having. We don't have a proper
Thank you very
criminal
much. You've done justice to that.
structure.
Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Chichi Alinta. I'm a journalistic writer and a behavioral therapist. My question goes to Mr. Chuks.
Okay.
I'm going to use the family to ask you a question. Your children are your products. And if you happen to inculcate discipline in them, at the end of the day, if one of them should misbehave, if one of them should misbehave, who are you going to blame? Are you going to blame yourself for the way they misbehave, or you are going to blame them? Because you keep blaming the leaders. You are saying the leaders are at fault. So I want you to answer that question, sir.
Okay, he said if you have kids and you give them, you inculcate discipline into them and they misbehave, who do you blame at the end of the day when they misbehave? Are you going to blame yourself or you're going to blame them?
You blame yourself.
So what? Okay, you blame yourself. And you are, that means, like he was saying, he was like, if we can control our resources by ourselves, we'll not be blaming the leaders. So I'm asking you the question now. If you keep putting the blame on the leaders, that means...
Who do we blame? It's a leadership. It says everything rises and falls on leadership. That is the element. Until leadership is structured. Now, with that, when we say, let me also explain it. When we say everything rises and falls on leadership, we're all talking about basic elements that we hold leadership. Those basic elements are being manipulated. Now, let me give you an instance. In our legal structures, somebody can put a case in court today. Now, because he is a criminal, he goes behind and talks to the judge, and the judge extends that case. They begin to give what we call adjournment. Now, because he is doing adjournment, he's weakening the legality of that whole case. He weakens it. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Now, in other crimes, nobody is interested in adjournment. You commit a crime, you go and face the wrath of the law.
Immediately. All right. Your name?
I'm Mercy John from the University of Lagos.
Can you speak up? Can't hear you.
Okay, I'm Mercy John from the University of Lagos, Department of Mass Communication.
Okay, who's your question directed to?
To Mr. Prince.
Prince. Okay.
So talking about resource management or control, how can accountability and transparency be ensured? Because in everything that we do, in everything that we talk about, there's no way we can rule out the effect of leadership, because their actions and inactions affect us whether we like it or not.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You heard the question. She's saying that in the case of resource control, how can accountability be established? Because whether you like it or not, the issue of leadership cannot be raised from this conversation at the end of the day.
All right. Let us ask ourselves, why are we talking about resource control? Why are we talking about leadership?
Right.
Why are we talking about people wanting to agitate? It's because those who have already given the responsibility have not been able to do anything. The leaders you talk about, even if you say the leaders are flawed, they have not been able to be accountable. So the people are saying, we want to take our lives in our hands. That is the whole essence. And when you do that, you will find out that the people themselves will now know that the institution has failed us. We cannot afford to fail ourselves.
Thank you very much. All right.
My name is Ikwe Joy from the University of Lagos and Department of Mass Communication.
Who's your question directed to?
My question is directed to
Can you speak up a
Chuks.
bit, please?
My question is directed to Mr. Chuks. So he mentioned a point earlier, and he said the minority do have a say. So now there's a house demolition going on in Oworoshoki, and all the houses there were demolished, but there's a house that is standing there. If the minority did have a say, I don't think that house would be standing there. So what do you have to say about that?
You heard her. She said, she gave us an example around Oworoshoki where houses were demolished. That most of the houses there were demolished, but particular houses were still standing. That if minorities have a voice there, why is that particular house still standing? Because apparently leadership has come to take control to allow some of those buildings to still stand while others experience demolition.
That boils down to injustice and corruption. Now, because our system also permeates corruption and injustice. We have it everywhere, in every nooks and cranny, in every system of government. There's injustice, there's corruption. Now, the guy whose house is standing might be that he knows somebody that knows somebody that knows the authorities. So that's what is going on. There's injustice and corruption.
Okay.
It is in every system.
You've done justice.
It is in every system.
You've done justice. You've done justice. Don't go farther. Please put your hands together once again. All right, who is next?
My name is Mama Rashidat. I'm a student of the University of Lagos, Department of Mass Communication. My question is directed to Mr. Prince.
To Prince?
Yes,
all right.
Mr. Prince. Do you think, personally, that if these resources are extracted from these areas and they are giving revenue from it, they're giving their percentages, do you think that they're actually going to develop? Do you not think that the leaders actually have to have access to this revenue? Like they're giving the money so they can build and develop their states. That's my question.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, she's saying if people now take control of the resources and they are giving the resources to control, will they develop even at that?
Okay, I'll take you also on a journey. Those of you who were probably born as at 1979, when you had Shehu Shagari as president, you had the governor of Lagos State, the late Lateef Jakonde of blessed memory. You had the governor of Imo State, the late Sam Mbakwe. Sam Mbakwe of blessed memory built Imo State Airport with the contribution and resources of the people. He did not need to go anywhere. And that was why, before he died, they used to call him the crying what? Governor. Because he went hand in cups to bed. And he told the people, whatever you bring out from your soil, your yam, whatever it is you sell, bring part of the money, let us build an airport. That is why community works more than government.
Thank you very much.
Good day, distinguished speakers.
Can you speak up, please? Please,
good
you're a
day,
man.
Distinguished
Speak up.
speakers. I'm Addition Samuel from the Faculty of Law, Unilag. My question goes to Mr. Prince regarding you were saying something about the people should be given absolute power to dictate what goes on around the land in particular. So I'm saying, what was the legality of the people's of the people themselves? On what legality do they act on? Who checks their powers? Because there are ways that can spawn immorality in the end. And that can also mean that they might want to overdo at some point. Okay. You heard the question,
yeah,
right?
I did.
Okay.
All right, let us use the traditional way of doing things. We know about the Oni of Ife. And we know about the people of Ife. If the Oni of Ife comes out today and tells the people, I want all of you to come out to the market, will the people not come out? They will. Why do they obey him? They don't obey him because they see him as a leader. They obey him because they see him as one of their own. So when it comes to resource control, the people become more alive when their own person, who they believe in, tells them.
He's fighting for them.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
My name is Madabuchi Favor from Unilag, Department of Mass Communication. My question is directed to Mr. Prince.
All right,
he spoke extensively on control of natural resources. But my question is, how exactly can we achieve environmental justice without full control from natural resources?
Okay. You heard that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
The problem we've had in Nigeria when it comes to control of natural resources is that we do not have the expertise involved in mining them. So what you end up having is what they call illegal mining. But if the people are in charge and you know that if you dig here and dig here, nobody will be able to build a house there, the people will use common sense, they will not do it. The people are more conscious of the environment than the government you think of.
Thank you very much. That's all right. You ended there. Don't go further. All right.
Okay. Hello, my name is Wale Fakui. I'm a political analyst. In addendum to my question is directed to Prince.
Okay.
I want to ask because fundamentally we know that the section 44 subsection 3 legitimize the government to own oil and all of that. So are we going to go back, because the agitation will continue until we begin to say, okay, are we going to go back to say we want to change the constitution? Because that legitimizes the government to own the land, and I think they've worked out 13% derivation like Mr. Chuks mentioned. So are we going to go back to constitutional review amendment before the people can fully own what they have? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
When we talk about land,
If you want to contribute to this, I would like that. No problem.
when we talk about land and the things in it, and we say it is government that owns it, the reason why we say it's government that owns it is that because you and I, as individuals, as citizens, we have given our sovereignty to government. And we say, government, provide security for us, protect us, provide food, provide transportation, provide good roads. Now, if that is not happening, and the people are now agitating, what do? You go back to that document. No document is sacrosanct. You go back to that. For me, I would say this, and I've always said it. 1999 Constitution is an obnoxious document that should be shredded.
Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. You want to contribute to that? Because he's saying, look, if it's not working, why not just we go back to the Constitution, re-amend it, and let people own what they have?
That's the reason why we wanted to do a constitutional amendment program was being initiated then by Goodluck Jonathan. And we wanted to be able to adjust some aspects of this to accommodate some of these things that we are saying. But you know, I want to give an instance. That is the PIA Act for oil and gas now. If you read that act very well, you understand that that act is being skewed to favor some set of people. And it is causing problem today. So the problem we have, I'm still saying it, is people don't have integrity. They don't have trust. People don't have character. We have character failures here. Everywhere you put anything, people will always come in with their own personal selfishness and interests because they want to satisfy their own area.
Pockets.
That is what is causing the wahala we are having. The problem we have, I still say it, remains the fact that we have character failure. Nigerians, not just the leaders, even me and you here, we're also leaders. In our little sphere, how are you managing the people under you? How do you see money when money is being committed in your hands? This is what we're talking about.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
No, I want to add this.
Quickly, before we go on
The
the
major
break.
problem we've had across board in this country is that the people, you and I, are not involved in decision making.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. You and I are not involved in decision making. Please put your hands together for everyone that contributed to this conversation today. Well, of course, these are not theories. These are lived experiences. When we return, final words in 30 seconds. This is still the big Okay. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the big picture. Thank you so much. All right. All right, Chuks, he started initially, so right now we are ending the show. But in 30 seconds, how do you drive your point home? 30 seconds, quickly.
Now, let me emphasize this. Nigeria does not need any argument over resource control at the moment. What we need at this time is to be able to fix our institutions, hold people accountable when they embezzle funds, make sure that we put proper governance structure in all our institutions, and also, finally, make sure that when anyone, anywhere, is indicted for anything that has to do with government funds, that person should go for death penalty. If these things are fixed, if it is done, I can tell you, you will not have any time at any, if it is fixed today, that there's a death penalty, just like we do death penalty for kidnapping, and we say death penalty for anybody who embezzle government funds, you won't see anybody steal 1 kobo of government funds.
Thank you very much. Please put your hands together once again, please. Put your hands together. Thank you. Prince, how do you end in 30 seconds?
The control of natural resources by government today has been seen as a curse. Nigerians see it as a curse, not because it is a curse, but it's a curse because the people do not benefit from what comes out of the land. The people have become poorer, the people have become more malnourished, the people have become more hungry. So because of that, in order for people to live their life and be happy, we need to take our natural resources and hand it over back to the people.
Thank you very much. Please put your hands together once again. All right. I must actually confess, this has been a very feisty contest. It's been a very fantastic conversation. The arguments have been very broad. And it's only natural because with the fashion of the show, we try to make peace at the end of the day. So I would respect the both of you to shake hands. Come, put your hands together for them. Please put your hands together for them, please. They've been very, very resourceful. Of course, 2 arguments, 1 nation, 1 burning question. The conversation continues online. Join us using the hashtag #BigIssueOnTVC. Subscribe on YouTube at TVC Entertainment. Of course, my thanks to our guest, Prince Francis Chilaka. Please put your hands together for him. And of course, we have Chuks Emeka right here. Please put your hands together for him as well. And to you, our vibrant audience, put your hands together for yourselves. And of course, our production and post-production crew behind the cameras, please put your hands together for them as well. And to our very, very resourceful producer, Francis Azubike, please put your hands together for him. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, until next time, Nigeria, think deeply, debate respectfully, and never run from hard questions. My name is Otabor, and this has been the Big... Thank you.